Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of SimAirport. And what are we going to do in this series? We are going to build the Changi International Airport in Singapore. We are going to do Terminal 1 and Terminal 1 only. I'm going to pause the game. We've got some construction workers getting over here. What we're going to do is I'm going to tell you what we're going to do and then I'm going to start planning. Okay, so Changi International Airport includes like 4 different terminals, 2 runways, and it's a fairly large terminal building that has runways on the outside and the roads on the inside. So I'll show you how I'm going to plan on doing that in this series. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the planning in this episode for the airport. And I'll put up the aerial image onto the video just so briefly so that you can see what we're talking about, and of course you can go and look at that yourself later. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to rotate the airport because of the orientation of what this does. So we'll rotate it a little bit so that north is facing to the right of the screen. So that it kind of aligns with how Changi works. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. In addition, there's been some changes to the game in the April update, which I'm quite keen on seeing. One of them that's been here a little bit longer than the April update is the road ramps. So that means we can now have roads on top of roads, which is very cool and definitely going to be used in this airport. The other thing that I am so thrilled about is something called the one-way path. Now that we'll see what's happening. Requires researching one-way paths. Control the paths that your passengers take when navigating throughout your airport. Plan carefully when using, and remember that packs must always have a path to leave and exit your airport in case of missed flight or an emergency. So we will get to one-way paths, but I'm extremely excited about that. I thought a door would have been an interesting way of implementing that, but anyway, any way of getting that in place is awesome. So I'm very happy to see that. Okay, let's get straight into planning. And yes, this entire episode is probably going to be planning and planning only. So bear with me. Planning tool we don't have roads. So roads is going to be, let's go with white for the roads. So let's start with the runways. So that's going to be this taxiway stuff is going to be the runways. The 2 runways are going to do a little something like, and maybe that's not the one. Maybe that's the one, and we're obviously going to start with the one only, so maybe we'll start with this one down here. Okay, so we'll start with one. We'll probably expand, maybe we'll expand to that side. So what we'll do is we'll do the first row pretty close to this side, because I think what we'll do is, and I'm not sure if we can actually expand this stuff. Okay, hang on. Because this is sandbox, let me quickly run through the research. And now, of course, we don't have any of the people here that we need. Okay, so you just hold a right click in sandbox mode to run through the research. So one-way stuff is here, one-way taxiways, one-way paths is over here. But what I want to do is I want to unlock land expansion. So a COO will allow me land expansion. Let me quickly do that. So let's appoint a COO. Manage a COO. Thank you. Hire. COO is hired. So now we can. Oh, actually, I didn't even need to do that. There we go. So land expansion should now be available. So before we finish our planning, and this is extremely pricey, right? So should this one be the edge? So So I can't actually purchase it. But so what we'll do is we'll start this one with the edge, and we'll just do the one side of Changi. So Changi has got a little bit of a, so we'll do that. Okay, hang on. We get back to planning. Okay, so if I say that I'm going to do planned wall, see this thing, these things should be in bigger sizes for me. Okay, so taxiway. So we need a row of taxiways, and I'm tempted to offset that by 1. And I would also not mind having 2 loops of taxiways. Okay, so what we'll do is we will just do we will run the taxiway this way. Well, we're not going to do that, so let's just do that. So this is going to be our stands. That's not right. Get rid of that. So there's 2 stands here, 3 stands, 4 stands, 5 stands, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a bit of a squeeze on that side. Now what we need to do is provide ourselves a fair bit of terminal space over here as well. Probably because there's a few things that's interesting about Changi. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need to expand. This thing is going to be crazy. Yeah, that's about the right size for one of the terminal sides. So now the next thing is, and we're gonna kind of do the loop arrangement over here. The next thing is we're going to want to do something like maybe something like that. Okay, and then what we'll need to do is we'll need to expand to the other side. So then we're going to do some taxiways here, and I'm kind of tempted. What's the size of the smaller stands? Just like the large stands. Yeah, that's about the size that I've got there is the large stands. So we're just going to have to keep going on that. The smaller stands is the same size. So the stands are all the same size. Okay, fine. So let's go back to the planning tool. So you have to bear with me. The last one I played was, so let's just do some stands here. 2, 3 was Airport CEO. So I often have to click back over again and again. And we can even do that. So how many do we have here? So that's 7 stands over there. Perfect. So what we'll do is we'll have the that in there, and then we can do stands on this side as well, and then we'll have to expand that way. And potentially we don't need to expand much further than this. We will see. So then if we do stands on this side as well, all we need to do is we'll need to expand the land in that general direction if we are interested in achieving an additional runway, which I am very sure we're going to be interested in achieving. Now what I've done over here is that I am going to need to clear that out and just put our taxiways back in here. So that's taxiway and that's taxiway right there. So that's the internal. So there's going to be gates on both sides of this, and we're going to definitely need to expand that one out there. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of this planning for taxiway here, and we will effectively try and double up this one on the other side. Now for roads, I am going to go with departures on this level that then feeds into a level 2. The other interesting thing about Changi is that, and I wonder if I started to explain it. Changi has got a single level for arrivals and departures. So it doesn't do the double level airport. We will have double levels over here as we split the inbound and the outbound passengers, but as they interact with the gates, it's only going to be a single level. Then Changi has a very interesting one that I haven't seen at any other airports, I think. They won't be able to go here. I'm just thinking there's like that 30 30 tile thing, so we have to run that through there. Anyway, the other interesting thing is that Changi doesn't have security as you clear immigration. You have security at the gate itself. So that's another one. I mean, I've seen that. I've seen airports with security at gates, but it's not in lieu of security or to replace security at immigration. And so that's, Changi is one of those where the fact that there is no or very rudimentary security at immigration is quite an interesting one for us to do. Okay, so in terms of the roads, I'm going to want to build out, and we'll go with orange for roads. I'm going to want to build out roads that allow us to get people to access this. And I'm going to do fairly sizable section, actually. So if we say, let's try and line it up over here, right? So we're going to do a road like that. And then we're going to run the road all the way down here. And the question is, do we go straight from the building? I believe you can go straight in the building. The question is, do we want to? Okay, so that's the one. Okay. Now the other one is going to be, shall we do the pink one for the down? So then we're going to do this one, which is going to be the level below. Okay. And then I'm going to do a loop back so that you can drop off and pick up from the same vehicle, can come back and drop off and pick up. So something like that. So that's kind of what I'm seeing as the road setup over here. Yeah, so that piece of taxiway there is probably not going to work. We'll probably need to loop it just a little bit this way, but that's okay. That is absolutely fine, and we probably need two directions over here as well. And what we'll also do is we'll start operations over here with a smaller piece, and then we'll expand from there. So what we'll do is we'll start with a smaller piece and see how that goes, a single runway, and get our stuff over here. I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll see how we go with all of that. So this is the basics for us. Okay, so this is, we're going to replicate this on that side once we're able to purchase the land. Actually, can we purchase the land right now? No, we cannot. I know there's some kind of a thing where you can go into the source file or the save game file and do some changes and get all the land pieces unlocked. But I'm not going to bother with that right now. What we'll do is we're just going to start off on the one side and we'll go about that. So if we go down, and to be honest, so if I go with the pink over here and we drop down, can I see the pink down here? Oh, I can in fact see the pink down here. Okay, and if we go up and go down again, and you use page up and page down to do that. We go up and we go down again. Okay, there we go. So now we've actually got the little road over here. So what we're going to do, so that's the full extent of the terminal building. What I want to do is, and what was the color we used? Cyan. So let's grab this. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start inputting the same thing over here, and it doesn't actually have to be the full extent of the top one. It can be a smaller slither, but we'll see how we do with that. And it's actually going to work quite well because the sorting, baggage sorting facilities and things like that will go in here as well. And to be honest, let's see about getting that about 30 in size. And then we'll give ourselves the rest for sorting. So sorting, maybe it's this is not the best way of doing it, is it? It's 30 in size, so let's say that is the baggage sorting and maybe any other types of facilities over here. Okay, so if we do something like that, so there we go. So that gives us a bit of an idea of how this terminal is going to get in. This unfortunately has to go to the second level if we want to get the big ones to go in there. So this is seen as level 1 at Changi Airport. And that, I think that's about it in terms of how it's laid out. I can put a schematic on here as well. And then this area is like your getting, check-in area, okay, and then just getting into the departure hall, and then you go to gates over here, and there's security over here, and there's some shops and duty free and all these kind of things, and over here similarly in between you do find a little bit of that. So we'll see how that works. And again on that side, so these are the D gates, I believe, and those will be the C gates. So that's pretty much it. So now shall we start building this? And again, what I'm going to say is this is a realistic kind of build. We're trying to represent the Changi Airport as best we can, and obviously we can't do it perfectly. We can't kind of build pieces diagonally, not that looks and works well with gates on them and stuff like that, and we've got obviously some restrictions with the game, but we're going to do our best to represent the operations of the Changi Airport. And so that's the plan, and that's the primary goal. So we're not going to worry too much about the cash. We are going to hopefully get ourselves to an operation where the operation itself can be a little bit more cash flow positive, but we're not going to worry about going into the negatives over here as we continue to build it. We've got a few more minutes in the game, so what I'll do is I will hire a lot of construction workers, like plenty of them, because I want to do this quickly. So let's do like 50 out here. There we go, and they'll arrive soon. I can actually get the time to start going on again. Oh, and hang on, before they arrive, let's actually start building the roads. So let's grab this road piece over here. I'm going to do exactly that. This is what I'm going to do. It's going to run up here, and whether I should set this back 1 or 2 tiles or not is something that I'm still wondering about, and we'll probably change our minds a little bit. Before this one goes down, I'm going to have it like one little section, and then we'll, oh no, well anyway, then that's kind of what we're going to do. One section there, one section there, and this one goes back into that direction like so. And then we need to get the road ramps down, please, right over there, and the road ramp up. If I go down, one needs to go actually needs to go something like that. And then what we'll do is we'll run roads down here as well. If we can see how that goes. Perfect. So let me get my road ramps over here, and that'll be, so this will be the arrivals area, so people will be picked up down here. So our pickup will be down here, and I'm hoping that all will work as yeah, well, as it should be. So there we go. So that's the starting point, and construction can immediately commence, and we'll speed things up. And yes, there are key bindings that I can use. Deliveries will obviously bring in massive amounts of stuff, so let's make sure to provide so much room that all of this can quite easily be unloaded. Seems pretty clear. Excellent. Nice. So big delivery area, and construction is underway. And yes, what I'm going to do is these episodes are going to be 20 to 25 minutes long, and we're going to try and get as much as possible done. So in the next one, we will continue the expansion of, actually I might start in between episodes the development of a piece of the terminal. My goodness, look at that. Look at what this has cost us. So definitely not going to be a profitable airport as we start. So actually, let's get our construction underway for our foundation over here. Maybe we'll set it back just a little bit. as a starting point. And what we could do, we could run it up to say about there, and that is pretty pricey. So this could be our starting airport section, and we can have our gates, our first gates over here. Then we can go underneath. See that? See how cool that works? That works pretty cool. Then we can go underneath. We can do a similar thing over here. And again, what we wouldn't need a big one on this side. So let's what we'll do is we will give ourselves a little bit of room to say do something like that over here. So this will be the bottom section over here. Will just be this little piece slither. It might have to get bigger, but we'll see as we start to develop that. So guys, that's the basic planning for the Changi International Airport Terminal 1 and SIM, I believe. Yeah. And yeah, so this is a new series. So if you like this kind of stuff, and it seems you guys generally do like it, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, leave some comments down below. Have you been to Changi Airport? Do you like it? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And have you built any of these kind of airports yourself? Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.